Okay, today I want to do a short video on how does human trafficking. Okay, so let's take a look at that.
You may have heard stories about human trafficking, children being sold for sex in other parts of the world. And I bet you think it could never happen here in Canada, right? Well, it does. And it's probably a lot more common than you think. Human trafficking is modern-day slavery, and it happens every day to Canadians in all parts of Canada. In fact, human trafficking is one of the fastest growing crimes in our country, and it could be happening to someone you know right now. But unfortunately, it often goes unreported. As a result, human trafficking likely takes place much more often than the statistics show. So what is human trafficking exactly? It's when a person is deceived, coerced, and threatened or forced into doing something they don't want to do. Traffickers are mostly men, but some are women. They spend a lot of time and effort looking for the right people to prey upon. In most cases, they befriend vulnerable youth who have been abused, live in poverty, have run away from home, don't have a strong support system, or are mentally unhealthy. Traffickers or their accomplices may hang out at malls or near schools where young people gather. Many even shop for victims online by pretending to be someone they're not on social media. They seek out vulnerable individuals and promise to help give them a better life, but their actual goal is to exploit these people in order to make money. Traffickers gain control over their victims by buying them expensive gifts, giving them a place to stay, telling them how much they love them, or promising to keep them safe. Basically, anything that makes the person feel good. Victims may even believe the trafficker is their boyfriend or girlfriend. Once a person is lured in, it's incredibly hard for them to get out. Traffickers use threats and physical force to maintain their hold over victims. They isolate their victims from friends, family, and society, and they convince the person to do things they wouldn't normally do, such as selling sexual services. Sometimes they tell the person they just have to do it this one time, but it's not true. Often victims feel like they can't leave or get help. They're scared of what could happen to them if they did. As a result, they face more trauma and abuse each day they're part of the human trafficking cycle. As unthinkable as these acts may seem, they're very real, and they're becoming more common across the country. Trafficking happens in Canada and can impact anyone at any time, regardless of their social, cultural, or economic background. And in many cases, the victim doesn't even realize it's taking place. Now that you know more about human trafficking, here's what you can do to help. Check out the Not in My City website to learn the facts about human trafficking in Canada. Get to know the signs so you can help spot trafficking victims and find out how to safely report suspicious activity. You may even be able to help stop it before it happens. Human trafficking is a serious crime. It's a violation of a person's basic human rights, and it undermines their self-worth. Simply put, human trafficking is slavery. If we all work together, take a stand, and do what's right, we can make a difference and put an end to human trafficking in Canada.
Okay, so check out notinmycity.ca. Let me see, I think I have that up. Let me just look. Let me stop share. I have to look. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Let me go back to share though. Screen share, sound, and not in my city. Okay, there it is. Okay, so they have an interactive e-learning course. All right, so you can check that out. I've done some courses online through Ambassadors United and Truckers Against Trafficking, so I'll check this one out as well. But it's a free course. It's available to everyone. Upon completion, you will be awarded a certificate. Okay, so it gives you resources. So human trafficking indicators. And I wish I could blow that up. I tried. How can you take action? Aviation, commercial trucking, hotels. So it kind of tells you what to look for. And then shelters. Okay, actually, let me take a look at this. I think I can blow this up. Okay, so human trafficking indicators in school. Okay, not doing what I wanted to do. Okay, there it is. That's pretty big. Let me go smaller. Okay, so has multiple cell phones, number one. Inconsistent in info and lack of ID. Has hotel room keys. Protects the person who is hurting them and is not allowed to be able to speak for themselves. Lacked knowledge of a given community or whereabouts. Okay, so if a victim is under 18, it's mandatory under law to report any cases suspected or known sexual exploitation. So school staff are to follow school protocol or child abuse to report suspected human trafficking activity. Okay, let me see if I can look at some of these other ones. Okay, so are fearful, anxious, depressed, submissive, nervous, or paranoid? Experience changes in relationships, show signs of ownership like tattoos and brands, jewelry used by traffickers to mark their property, has expensive items such as hairstyles, manicures, cell phones, clothes, and excess cash with no known source of income, appears malnourished, sleep deprived, or in need of medical care, displays a dramatic personality change, evasive behavior, and disengagement from school, hobbies, family, and friends. So we saw that when we looked at child abuse. In is a chronic truant, runaway, or homeless youth. So basically, they miss out on a lot of things. They miss school a lot. Okay, let me see if I can do this one. Human trafficking indicators how you can take action. Okay, so let me see if I can blow this up. All right. And let me see if I can read this. Okay, so I'll go the same way. So number one, are fearful, anxious, depressed, submissive, nervous, or paranoid. Okay, and that also is kind of related to drug use. Appears malnourished, sleep deprived, or in need of medical care. So shows signs of ownership, tattoos, brands, and jewelry. Has multiple cell phones. Has hotel room keys. Lacks knowledge of given community or whereabouts. Displays a dramatic personality change, evasive behavior, and disengagement from school, hobbies, family, and friends. Has expensive items such as hairstyles, manicures, cell phones, clothes, and excess cash with no known source of income. Inconsistency in information and lack of ID, I guess when you question them. Protects the person who is hurting them and is not allowed to be able to speak for themselves. So there's actually a name for that. Is a chronic truant, runaway, or homeless victim. Okay, so be aware of the signs, assess the situation, use the indicators above to identify anything unusual with the person's behavior or appearance. Ask your peers if they spot the same signs as you. It's important to identify multiple signs. If you're at work, you can call your supervisor for help if you notice suspicious activity about this travel. Okay, about their travel, you can call 911, call 211 if someone you know needs resources or services in Alberta, Canada. Okay, so Canada's human trafficking hotline is 1-833-900-1010. Okay, let's see if I can look at this smaller one. Report suspicious behavior. Provide the date and location of the suspected incident. Give us a physical description and of the person involved, like their name, age, hair color, height, clothing, and more. Note the make, model, and license of the car, and then offer a summary of what happened. All right, let's see if we can look at another one. With aviation, some of the indicators would be, okay, so some of these are similar to what we looked at before. Fearful, anxious, depressed, submissive, nervous, or paranoid. Appears malnourished, sleep deprived, and need of medical care. Shows sign of ownership, tattoos, brands, and jewelry. Has multiple cell phones, has multiple hotel room keys. Lacks knowledge of the community or whereabouts because they move them around a lot. Displays a dramatic personality change, evasive behavior, and disengagement from their regular activities like school, hobbies, family, and friends. Has expensive items, hairstyles, manicures, cell phones, clothes, and excessive cash with no known source of income. Inconsistency is information and lack of ID. Let's see. Protects the person who is hurting them and allowed to be able to speak for themselves, not allowed. Is chronic, truant, runaway, and homeless youth. Okay, so when you're in airports, I travel a lot, look for certain things, is unable to explain details about their travel, does not have control of their own ID and passport, has excessive baggage or few or no personal possessions, and not suitably dressed for their journey, is traveling on a last minute booking paid for in cash or prepaid credit card at the airport, a young person accompanied by someone claiming to be a parent or guardian who is in fact not related to the youth. Okay, so again, you can call 911. Okay, let's just look at a couple other ones. Okay, so commercial trucking, this is going to be similar to what I looked at in Truckers Against Trafficking. Okay, it's the same top 11, all right, that we looked at before. So, just as a brief summary, they're fearful, they look malnourished, they have tattoos, multiple cell phones, hotel keys, don't know where they are. They display a dramatic personality change, evasive behavior. They have expensive items like cell phones and hairstyles and manicures, inconsistent in information and lack of ID, protects the person who is hurting them and is a chronic truant, runaway, or homeless youth. Okay, so in commercial trucking, these are some things to look out for, and you can call 911 if you see them. Okay, they're involved in the solicitation of commercial sex. In the past, customers were commonly solicited through radio messaging, knocking on truck doors and directly approaching truckers at truck stops and rest areas. Radio messaging codes heard such as commercial company looking for company, sleeper, leaper, hustle, and bunk money. Today, drivers will talk about where they can get action and book company online using tools such as Craigslist, Kijiji, Leolist, Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Hookups are made at truck stops, hotels, and restaurants. Vehicles are seen dropping off and picking up solicited individuals, and including youth. Okay, let's see. When you're at hotels, let's look at this one. Okay, it's kind of the similar first 11. Let's look at indicators to watch in hotels specifically. Okay, has excessive baggage or few or no personal possessions, and not suitably dressed for the weather. Pays for room and cash or prepaid credit card, 1 day at a time. A young person accompanied by someone claiming to be a parent or guardian, who is in fact not related to you. So you can usually tell that by the age difference, and they may be a different nationality and things like that. Refuses housekeeping, requests multiple towels, evidence of alcohol and drug use. So again, call 911 for emergency support, or call 211 for services in Alberta. So what is that where you relate to your abuser? It's something syndrome. And I'll think of it like right when I get off here. But they do have one on shelter. I'm not seeing it. Let me see if I can find it down here. Okay, and let's look at part 2. 4 steps you can take to end trafficking. I was actually looking for that online, but I didn't see it. So let's see if it works here.
Did you know human trafficking is the second largest source of illegal income across the globe? Or that it's one of the fastest growing crimes in Canada? It's true. Each day, at-risk individuals from all social, cultural, and economic backgrounds become targets of human trafficking and sexual exploitation. It's a form of modern-day slavery, and it's becoming more common here in our own backyard. 93% of trafficking victims in Canada come from Canada, and 64% of those victims are under the age of 25. But what if there's a way to bring human trafficking into the spotlight and stop it before it's too late? There is, and it's as easy as these simple steps. Step 1. Become a Not in My City ally. Not in My City is a facilitative organization that's helping raise awareness and take action to prevent and end sexual exploitation and trafficking. Allies use their collective voices on social media, at events, and in the news to share information and amplify the message that human trafficking is wrong and shouldn't be happening. Step 2. Write to politicians and leaders in your community. Ask them to learn more, get involved, and help make a change. Step 3. Visit notinmycity.ca for tools, resources, and an online course that include more information about human trafficking, how to spot the signs, and what you can do to provide support. Step 4. Spread the word. Talk about the issue of human trafficking with your family, friends, and colleagues. If you're a victim of human trafficking, know you're not alone. In Alberta, you can call 211 for more information about where to get help. Outside Alberta, contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-833-900-1010. Or in the case of an emergency, call the police at 911. Remember, The most important thing you can do is take action. It's time we face the truth and take a stand so we can help put an end to human trafficking forever. After all, shouldn't freedom be for everybody?
Okay, that was a good summary. All right, so let me see. I'm not sure what these are. Okay, so I can review those and I'll check them out later. I think, let me just look at this real briefly. Because I think we saw this one, if it's about freedom.
Vous avez peut-être entendu parler de la traite des êtres humains.
Okay, that's in a different language. I think that's French, probably. But Stockholm Syndrome, check that out.
Saviez-vous que la traite
Okay, so that's when you kind of you relate or protect your abuser. Okay, so there's a lot of written about that, so you can check that out. But that I think this is a good start. So I will check out the course. You can check it out as well, and I may do another video on that. Okay, but let's stop that for now. So just kind of a simple summary of human trafficking, and we'll do some more in the future. Okay, have a good day.